So where do we find Robert McCall at this point, following the event of the first film?
We find him as a Lyft driver. He's trying to engage more in society and get involved with people. He's got a little more pep in his step, right? He feels like he's found his purpose in life, which is to help people. Until something horrible happens, and that brings his past.
And how deliberate was it? It feels like a far more intimate film than the first one. It doesn't feel like you're making everything bigger. How deliberate was it, almost to make it feel like a grounded drama that happens to have action sequences?
Very deliberate. Yeah, I love dramas that happen to have action, as they used to be in the 70s in those days. You know, look at French Connection in those movies. Your dramas with some great action sequences that we recall today, like Bullet.
Yeah.
You know, so I enjoy that pacing and also those characters being developed much further.
Yeah, there's very deliberate pace in the first half before the second half, kind of where everything becomes a little bit bigger. Especially the car chase scene. How kind of meticulous was the planning for that?
Very, obviously, you know, keeping everybody safe, having a beginning, middle, and end that elevated and also felt like it wasn't becoming ridiculous, like going on for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, and all that stuff. I wanted it to be fast, intense, and over with a button. Yeah. And it took some time to design it.
And with those action sequences, it often feels like Denzel is actually kind of bruised and a little bit worn. Like, were they kind of, you're talking about the French Connection, were those 70s action films where the kind of heroes are usually middle-aged men who are also kind of fragile in itself? What were the big influences really with this film?
Really, like I said, you know, those Gene Hackman, those days, you know, even like a movie like The Professional. Yeah. You know, the guys of a certain age and grit, you actually believe they can do these things because, you know, they look like men who've lived some life. And there's a tendency sometimes to have action heroes that look like they still got milk behind the ears, and they're doing all these amazing things. I'm going, now, what age did they learn how to do that now? When did that happen? You know, so yeah.
There's also when Denzel ends up in the suburbs, it doesn't feel like purely satire, but it does feel like there's kind of a discussion, not maybe strictly about race, but there is kind of a very clear distinction. Like how kind of did you handle that kind of so well?
It wasn't race at all. You know, Pedro is from Argentina. You know, he's Latina. Yeah, that's why he has a Latina wife and all that stuff. Yeah, I didn't think about that at all that way. It just happened to be the place that I thought a guy that worked for the government who's probably pulling a little bit too much money on the side would live. Yeah. It was more about that, you know, about his corruption than anything else.
And are there plans to do a third one, or do you want to make a small drama again? Because you've been making kind of quite large films recently. Would you want to pull it all back and make a quite intimate drama? I would love to, if I found the right script. I would love to, yeah. The third one, we'll see, you know. Yeah. I'm still here talking to you about this one. I can't even wrap my head around that. But I would like to, man, if I could find something that meant something to me. Like Southpaw was a drama for me, really, outside of the boxing, you know. But I enjoyed that a lot. I can imagine.
Yeah, that was fun. I'd like to do it again.
Yeah.
You know.